Okay, I'm going to try to show you a simple way to find triads all over the neck. And all we're going to be using is E, your E shape, E minor shape, A minor shape, and then D and D minor shape. And if the root note of your chord you want is on, we'll just use a G chord for this whole thing. If the root note is on the high E string, and there's your G on the high E string, you use your E shapes. So E string, E shapes. And there's your E minor shape, or E major shape, and then your E minor. And that's just the bottom of the bar chords. And then if the root note is on the B string, find your G on the B string, you're using your D shapes. So we have G, 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 and then find your root note on the G string, which is of course at the 12th fret, it's an octave up. Use your A shapes. And that's just the bottom of A minor shape and A major shape. So if your root note is on your E string, E shapes. If it's on your B string, D shapes. And if it's on your G string, A shapes. Now you can play G. In 3 spots very easily. And you might want to write that down. E string, E shapes. B string, D shapes. G string, A shapes. And it works for every chord. Your A here on your high E string, E shapes. Find your A on your B string, D shapes. Now you can play a D minor here, or A minor here in your D minor shape. And it works for every chord, and it's a pretty easy way to find everything. And it helps you find all your notes on your B and G strings as well, because you just get used to it after playing that. And what I'd recommend is just write some chord progressions, simple chord progressions like G, D, and C, and then just see how many places you can find them. You know the G, 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 and then you can do the same thing with D. You got your D here, of course your regular D. You got a D there, you got a D here, and just play around and find the chords everywhere like that. E string, E shapes, B string, D shapes, G string, A shapes. And then you have chords all up and down the neck in your triads.